Hi there, let's go over your gear questions to review terminology as well as some calculations that we need to know about gears. So terminology wants you to identify the pinion, the wheel, the driving gear, also called the driver, the driven gear, or sometimes called the follower gear, and what kind of advantage the gear train. A gear train is 2 or more gears. And then how many turns, as well as how much effort. So lots to do here. So let's do terminology. We would label this the pinion. The pinion is the smaller gear in a gear train. This would be also called the wheel. Second, this indicates where the force is applied. And so if the force is applied to this gear, this is called the driving gear, or sometimes called the driver gear. So then this one will spin as a result, and so this is called the driven gear, or also called the follower gear. And so if you're having trouble with all this, have a look at page 287 and 288 in your book. Next, let's talk about turn ratios. So how many turns does this gear make compared to this gear? Well, we have something called the speed ratio in your book. And the speed ratio says that the number of teeth in the driver gear divided by the number of teeth in the driven or follower, the follower, will give us the speed ratio. So let's count the teeth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teeth here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 here. So they're the same size. So what does that mean? If this turns once, this turns once. Another thing we can notice is if they're the same size, then the mechanical advantage is 1. So if this box is 10 newtons, how much do we have to turn to lift the box? 10 newtons. So what is the reason behind this? Just like a class 1 lever where the fulcrum's in the middle, all we're doing is transferring force into a different direction. Also, just like a single fixed pulley. Okay, MA1 here, the MA is 1 here, and the MA is 1 here. Let's talk about direction. So if we crank in this direction, the gear goes this way, counterclockwise. What happens to this gear? It will always go in the opposite direction, so it will go clockwise. Let's try the second question. Identify the pinion and so on. So the smaller gear is the pinion, the bigger gear is the wheel. Here's our force, our crank, and so now this is the driver gear, and this is the follower gear or driven gear, and this is the driving gear. Number of teeth we already have, so let's talk about turns. So let's take our speed ratio. So 12 teeth in the driver gear divided by 24 teeth. So for every this makes 2 turns for every 1 turn of that. Okay, so the speed is reduced by half. What good is that? So this, if we do 1 turn here, 2 turns for every 1 turn. So this goes twice around for